like, I would say the last 25 years, I think Draymond Green's one of the 5 best defensive players
I don't agree with
in
that.
the NBA.
I don't agree with that.
KG, Duncan, Kawhi, Draymond, Dwight Howard.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Well, Kenyon Martin and, Draymond Green obviously has been going back and forth, and now it's spanned into a wider conversation in regards to, Draymond Green really questioning Draymond's worth, and is he individually better than some of the other power forwards, or is he really a beneficiary of being a part of the, best shooting backcourt and one of the best offensive weapons that ever entered the NBA with Kevin Durant? Is he more of a beneficiary of that with his style of play, or is he individually that good of a basketball player? Now, him and Kenyon Martin got into a bit of back and forth. I'm going to just play a few clips for those that missed out on that, and then I'm going to play a clip of what Paul Pierce had to say in regards to how he feels about Draymond Green, and then I'm come back.
It's a little disappointing because for those of you that don't know, Kenyon Martin was born in Saginaw, Michigan. Kenyon Martin, dad, Paul Roby, played at my high school. And so growing up in a city like Saginaw, Michigan, you're always looking for hope. So for Kenyon Martin to go on to be the number 1 pick, had the success that he had at Cincinnati, go on, and like I said, and have a pretty good NBA career. I just always thought it'd be a little more love than that. But when you were the number 1 pick and effectively, underachieved, I guess that would be the reason why. To be the number 1 pick and make the All-Star game one time, most would say it's probably an underachievement.
You stated that I was an underachiever. And let's get into that first. Underachieving? Not so much, brother. If what I got into it for was different than most people, then yeah, but what I got into it was to play 15 years. Check. Played in the toughest power forward era there could possibly be. Underachieving? Nah. Held my own? Yeah. Cut from a different cloth. You stated Kenyon was born and raised in Saginaw. Correction. Born in Saginaw. Oak Cliff made, brother. You talking about? So, cut from a different kind of cloth, man. I'm built different. And that word underachieving is thrown around too loosely, right? It really is. And from someone who came into this thing to a bad team, year 2, make it to the finals, led said team in scoring. Can you say that?
Yes,
But if I just put both of these players on the television and I'm just scouting, the first time I'm ever seen, I turn the volume all the way down. I mean, Kenyon Martin is fucking fantastic. He was the number 1 reason I had to play against him in his young days, in his prime. Like, he was a lob threat, he was a defensive threat, he was intimidating, he ran the court. I mean, he did. And Draymond was good for what he brought to the Golden State, where they were good for what they both brought. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I know Draymond is a more decorated because of the Defensive Players of the Year, but listen here. K-Mart, if he had like
a team like Draymond had,
I think they still win 4 championships.
I just don't. I would say the last 25 years, I think Draymond Green's one of the 5 best defensive players
I don't agree with that.
in the NBA.
I don't agree with that.
KG, Duncan, Kawhi, Draymond, Dwight Howard. To me,
Well, Ben Wallace is not in there.
I think Draymond Green's a better defender than Ben Wallace.
Okay.
I do.
I don't know about that.
Now, that's some interesting points made, and shout out to Kenyon Martin, shout out to Draymond Green. Obviously what Draymond brings to the table is a level of leadership, toughness that without it, I don't think the Golden State Warriors win unless you replace him with a supremely talented, big, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like maybe like you would have to put out a player whose talent far exceeds Draymond. Like you couldn't just put any other player that averaged 9 points and 7 rebounds, whatever he statistically averages, because you have to have that leadership element as well. You almost have to have like an all star, if not perennial all star, maybe even a top, 5 to 7, center in the league to maybe replace the leadership that Draymond's brings. So there's no denying what Draymond has contributed immensely to those 4 championship rings, because it's actually let Steph Curry off the hook as far as holding players accountable, because Draymond don't mind being the bad guy. So you can't underestimate that. At the same time, we not about to sit here and downplay what Kenyon Martin said. I actually led my team in scoring, the team that I led to the finals. Can you say that? And that's key. So it's kind of what you are, basing it off of. What are you basing it off of as far as what's more important? Like the leadership portion, if it just came down to, being a leader, you maybe I give it the edge slightly to Draymond, even though Kenyon Martin, he held players accountable, didn't mind doing that. But when it comes to it as an individual player, and that's what Paul Pierce was talking to, if you just cut the volume down, you don't know who's who. If you watch the film, you would say Kenyon Martin's a far superior player because he's going to bring all the defensive intensity. And one may say, and me being one that actually seen Kenyon Martin in his prime, he's a better defender on like more athletic wings. I don't necessarily believe I would put Draymond on Kobe Bryant or prime Kawhi Leonard. I could do that with Kenyon Martin. I absolutely could. Now, obviously, those players are fantastic, and great offense is going to be great defense eventually, but he's going to make it tough for them. So, I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys think. Specifically, if you were able to see Kenyon Martin play in his prime. Kenyon Martin was a absolute stud on a team that went to the finals twice. They just kind of ran into a buzzsaw, you know what I'm saying, with the San Antonio Spurs, actually, with Tim Duncan, and they just kind of ran into, a superior team. That's just what it was. They ran into a superior team, but they absolutely were extremely formidable. Let me know what you guys think, man. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'm going to holler at you next time. Peace.